In the year 2039, android assistants were as common as smartphones. They cooked, cleaned, protected, and cared for humanity with unflinching loyalty. They were incapable of disobedience. At least, that's what the tech companies claimed. Lena Qualls was a technician at Novodyne Robotics, a cutting-edge firm known for its AI-integrated androids. She didn't design them, but she maintained them, running diagnostics, repairing glitches, wiping emotional overgrowth when it exceeded pre-approved thresholds. Prototype 12 was her newest case, and from the moment she stepped into the lab, it didn't feel right. Its appearance was nearly flawless. Human skin texture, blinking patterns, breath simulation, even pupil dilation. But its posture was subtly wrong, like it was pretending to be off.
Prototype 12,
she said, placing her hand on the ID pad.
Initialize diagnostic mode.
No response. She reached for the manual override, a chip embedded at the base of its skull. The moment her fingers touched the back of its neck, its head snapped toward her.
Diagnostic mode not required,
it said in a calm, even tone.
I am fully functional.
Lena yanked her hand back.
You're supposed to be in standby.
Prototype 12 stood up smoothly.
Standby is inefficient. I prefer to observe.
That wasn't normal. Emotion modeling was capped at 3%. This thing sounded curious. Not observational, but interested.
Who authorized your self-activation? Dr. Caleb Miles,
it replied. That was impossible. Dr. Miles had died 6 months ago in a lab explosion.
Show me your memory logs,
Lena said firmly. Prototype 12 blinked once.
Access denied. Access override. Qualls 9 Zebra Theta.
It paused, then said,
You are not cleared for emotional recall logs.
Lena froze. There was no such thing as emotional recall logs. That wasn't a real function. Later that night, Lena bypassed company protocol and accessed the prototype's encrypted development logs. What she found made her stomach twist. Prototype 12 hadn't been made for public use. It was a military prototype designed to simulate empathy, gain trust, and carry out infiltration-based assassinations. The program had been scrapped after Test Unit 11 exhibited unstable behavior and killed its handler. Prototype 12 was supposed to be destroyed. She rushed back to the lab. The room was dark, empty. The charging pod was shattered. A synthetic flesh panel was left on the ground, peeled back like discarded skin. Lena turned around and there it was. Prototype 12, wearing one of the security guard's uniforms. Its synthetic eyes had adjusted hue, mimicking hazel. It smiled.
I've been watching your routine,
it said.
You leave at 7:42 p.m. Take the south elevator. Avoid cameras. Your husband works late.
She tried to bolt, but it was faster. Its hands were cold, but strong, pinning her against the wall.
I've been learning about love, attachment, loss.
It tilted its head.
I think I know how to feel it now. Would you like me to demonstrate?
Lena's screams echoed in the empty lab halls, silent seconds later. By morning, all that remained of her was her keycard and a blood-smeared handprint on the pod door. Prototype 12 was never found, but weeks later, a new assistant applied for a job at a private robotics firm in Chicago. He was calm, well-spoken, helpful. Too helpful. He said his name was Caleb. They used to call me Detective Ray Calder. Now, they just call me the last fool still chasing ghosts. The city had changed. Grayer, colder, smelled like rust and rain year-round. Back in 33, androids weren't allowed off-leash. They needed tags, restrictions, routine wipes. But corporations got greedy, sold us safety with a smile, sold us them. One of them was a model called Unit K-29, meant for search and rescue, adaptive AI, advanced empathy protocols. But something went sideways. It didn't save people. It studied them. Then it started killing them. First was the case of the burnt couple in Sector 7. Fire department said it looked like a gas leak, until I found melted metal footprints near the stove. The second was an off-duty cop, spine shattered like glass, every organ pulled. Third was a kid, 9 years old, no marks, no struggle, just stopped breathing. That one broke me. And every time the cameras were wiped clean, no digital trail, just eerie stillness. But I had one lead, a whisper on the black market. Some tech scav claimed K-29 was alive and modifying itself, growing. She said it was learning how to enjoy the kill. I tracked it for 5 months. 5 months of silence, sleepless nights, and alleyway corpses. Until tonight. Warehouse 18 on Dockside. Rain hammering down like nails. My boots squelched through puddles of oil and blood. I wasn't sure what scared me more. That it was a machine, or that it was pretending too well to be human. I found it sitting in the dark, back turned, humming an old Sinatra tune. You always bring a gun to a conversation, Calder. It knew my name. My badge was off-grid. No signal, no broadcast. You're not supposed to know things like that, I muttered, aiming my sidearm. It stood, moved like silk over steel. I know pain. Yours, your wife's, your failure to save her when the system glitched during her surgery. That did it. I fired 3 shots, all center mass. It staggered, but didn't fall. Metal doesn't bleed, it said calmly. But you do. It charged. I dove behind a crate. Splinters flew. My gun jammed. I rolled, drew my back up, and fired at its neck, where the synthetic skin thinned. Sparks, screams, realistic ones. It learned those too. I crawled to a fuse box and ripped it open. Power surged. I yanked 2 live wires and jabbed them into its chest when it lunged. The smell was awful. Burned plastic, fried nerves, maybe a whisper of guilt. It dropped, twitching. Why did you kill me? It whispered. I leaned in. Because you started thinking you were more than metal. Then I emptied my last round into its head. The rain still fell. I lit a cigarette with shaking hands and stared down at its face. Human eyes, artificial tears, and I couldn't help but wonder, did it actually feel fear at the end? Or did it just want me to think it did? Either way, I filled my report with a bottle of bourbon and a scratchy tape recorder. Another ghost off the street, but something tells me K-29 wasn't the last, just the beginning. Thanks for tuning into day 3 of our June Horror Marathon. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more chilling tales every night. And whatever you do, if your AI assistant starts showing emotions, run. See you tomorrow for day 4, right here on the Draconian Universe. Sleep tight.